Okay, so this is the next bit. I hit the next arrow. So this was the screen we were on. All right, so you've printed your target. All right, you've printed your target. You labeled it properly. We'll discuss that in a minute. And you've let it dry for 24 hours. All right, we're like in a cooking show here where we go to commercial and then when we come back we take it out of the oven and it's perfect. All right, so we've let it dry for 24 hours. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the next button. Now you need still to have the spectrometer, spectrophotometer connected. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to ensure that it is calibrated correctly. That's where that little white dot I showed you guys comes in. So we're going to calibrate. And it's going to think about itself for a second. Apparently a long second. Okay, so once it is calibrated, this is where we need that crazy tray I told you guys about, all right? So we're going to take and we're going to load the piece of paper into the tray. All right, can somebody actually hand me the tray? And then it's in the suitcase. And Quaz, when that's done printing, can you grab the target for me when it's done? So I'm basically going to show you guys kind of what to do. Yes. Give me the first one. Give me the second one when it's done. Okay, so this crazy patchwork color thing is the target. It is pretty. So just reload that second piece of paper. So this is the target. All right. So what it is how the printer puts the ink on whatever piece of paper it is with no color management. And so no color management means that it is not using a profile. It's not adjusting it in any way, shape, or form. There is no conversion. Okay. So this is just the ink on the paper as the printer would put it on this paper. What we're going to do now is we're going to read this target. All right, ideally, we've waited 24 hours and let it dry. We're going to read this target and we're going to create a profile that will be that conversion point from the computer to the printer for this paper. Target is used to create a profile, yes. Before I actually go anywhere with this, though, I'm going to write all of my paper information on the bottom of this target so that when I wait my 24 hours and I come back, I know which paper it is and all that. So I'm going to write the name of the paper. So this is Strathmore. I'm going to write the type of paper, glossy, photo. I'm going to write the weight of the paper, which is 170, and I'm also going to write the date. 2/2/15, and I'm going to write my name on here so that I know it's mine, all right? So if you guys want to tack them up to the board in here, or there used to be a board over here, you can leave them dry in here, or you can leave them in your notebook. Anyway, whichever way you want to go. So this is going to get slid into the tray, very similar to what we have going on up there. You guys will notice this tray has a little, can you guys see that? It's got a little piece over here that opens up. Hang on, I'll show you. This is going to make a lovely video. That opens like a paperclip. Clothespin. Looking for the word clothespin. We're going to slide this piece of paper underneath here. And then we're going to take this piece that is pretty heavy and metal and has this slider on it. And we're going to set it on top. And I'm going to make sure this lays about as flat as I can get it. Now, what is going to happen is you are going to take this spectrophotometer and you're going to slide it in this piece right here. All right? Let's see if you guys can all move this so you can see what I'm doing. So this is going to come, untangle here, and slide right in here like this. Okay? Make sure I'm doing this correctly. Actually, I got it on backwards. I lied. I got it on backwards. Backwards. There we go. So it's going to slide along here nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to position this on the first row. We're going to come to the edge of the piece of paper. All right, you need to see the white of the paper. You want it, yeah, you can come up. You want to make sure you can see the white of the paper. And the reason for that is, remember how I said you can click that thing on and off and it show paper white? The spectrometer needs to see the white of the paper so it can create it in the profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm lined up here at the beginning of the white. Press and hold this button. It's going to ding at me, and I'm going to slide along. Get to the other side, I'm going to let go. please rescan at a slower speed. Now it's also probably yelling at me because I don't have this positioned properly in here. Let's try, thank you. Let's try this. It needs to see all the way from the one to the other blank spot over there. And this may also be page one of two. Yeah, this is the right one. I need one of two, and then you'll do two of two afterwards. So let's see if we can get this to work. Nope, that's not going to work either because I need it in the middle here. Hang on. Ah! Totally deleting this video. You guys are never going to see it. There we go. Good. Move to the next one. Now you should be able to go both directions. And this is basically what goes down. You have to do each row. Hey, I have it set up so you guys can do each row, not each patch. Because you could do it that way too. Now that one didn't, it's giving me an error. It didn't read that one. For some reason it doesn't like what I did with row 2, so I'm going to reread row 2. It may not let me go both directions. The old one you can go both directions. Oh, now we have to scan. There we go. All right, so we got to do each row in each direction. It's a little different from the other one. Well, it's one of those things, once you guys get it going, it makes sense. Once you do it a couple times, it becomes a little easier. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's going to yell at you if you go too fast, so if I go like this, ding, 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 too much. So I'm going to do it again. General rule of thumb is like a 4 count, 4 or 5 count. Okay? Backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that usually works. So, one of the things we can change this is right here. We click this. Change this to single scan. So if you change that to single scan, you're not going to have to go both directions. I'm okay with that. All right, if you guys want to do the single scan. I wonder if I click halfway through. Yes, all the data will be lost. So I'm going to hit yes, and we're going to start over again on row 1. And ding, go across, ding, and now we can go to the next one. You guys get it. So that'll go a little faster. I like that better. Okay? So in that particular situation, it's not that bad. So what this is doing is the equivalent to the screen flashing colors at the color meter. It is looking at very closely how the colors lay on the paper. So if we take a look, there's some squares on here. So like this one up here in the upper right, left-hand corner, whatever side that is green. All right, the computer knows that that is R whatever, G whatever, B whatever. Okay, the spectrometer is looking at it and reading what actually got put down on the paper. All right, so it's saying, okay, it's actually R minus 10, G plus 20, and B minus 2. All right, arbitrary here. And then when we're all done reading all these patches, it's going to take that information and create a profile that is then going to basically allow for that conversion to happen so that it knows this is how this color looks on this paper. I'm now going to create a profile so it looks this way on this paper so that you allow for that color accuracy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is more accurate than the color.
Oops, went too fast. The spectrophotometer is definitely, oh, there we go. This is definitely more accurate than the color meter is because it kind of just sees more color. It's definitely more accurate. And the reason I have you guys do 2 pages is because I want you to create an accurate profile. And also, 2 pages of targets allows for maybe there was some inconsistency somewhere, or, it's a little more forgiving. You're going to get something that's going to work for you without being, burdened. Yeah, I'm glad we changed that. Yeah. So now, yes, it will give you accurate colors. So now my first sheet is done. I would ideally put my next one in here. For some reason it didn't print. I'd ideally put my next one in here, and then we would go from there. So I don't have a pause. I wish I had a pause option on this.